There are a lot of people making more money on Facebook than there is on YouTube.
Inside of the group, one of our members posted a screenshot of how he was able to make like 90,000 in a single month.
You have helped me tremendously with the little bit of one-on-one and the other coaching package you did with me. It was well worth every cent.
First of all, man, thank you for doing this. That's the first thing. Thank you for being on the channel. The first thing that I want to ask you is, because I wrote some questions down for you, because one of the things that I really like about you is that it kind of shows that as a content creator, you can become a content creator at any age. Like, you don't have to be 17 or 21 to be a successful content creator. So for the people who don't know you, tell us a little bit about you and basically why or how you decided to become a content creator.
Sure. So my vocation is real estate. And in January of 2000, Gary Vee, I was listening to something about him, and he said that TikTok was a very, underrated, underused, cheap way of getting information across, or platform to use. So I looked into it, and I had a couple of different channels set up, and then I decided to do something for this concept called the Lost World Museum. And I started it off with a 20-second video with a mammoth tooth that a customer of mine had. And I showed it on there, and I uploaded, got a few hundred views, and I went, I kind of like this. So I cut my teeth, so to speak, on TikTok. And I laughed about it because I am older. I'm 63. And I was laughing about it because I said, my goal is to have the more viewers than anyone at my age.
And you definitely made it happen. I'll tell you that.
You know, it took us a while, but we have 1 million followers on TikTok. Sounds good on a resume, but it almost means very little as far as from practicalities point of view.
Yeah, especially from, I would say, revenue wise, because I work with other TikTokers who have 5, 7, 10 million followers. And when I ask them how much money are you making, they're like, well, let's not really talk about money. It's one of those things like, yeah, massive audience on TikTok. It's easy to grow because you can go viral on TikTok very easily. But when it comes to money, it's really not. Unless you're able to bring your audience from TikTok to other platforms. That would be the best way to do it. So let's talk about specifically. I know you're big on TikTok, but let's talk about your YouTube journey. It took you a little bit to get to 100,000 subscribers, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it took me about a year, and I got to 100,000 subscribers, but I had toyed with Facebook prior to that, and Instagram. And I started to get a little bit more serious about Facebook after meeting you. And I believe I did that through a YouTube video on whatever it was that I was looking up, and hooked into you. And then the words that resonated from that point forward to where we are today was when you said there are a lot of people making more money on Facebook than there is on YouTube, relatively speaking, and it's like the best kept secret, and nobody's talking about it. And I'd heard this from one other source as well too, and it got my attention because I, along with others that I would speak to about this, they're like going, what? You can make what on Facebook? They had no idea that you could make money on Facebook. Not like that.
And by the way, I know you're inside the Facebook Creator Academy program. So inside of the group, one of our members posted a screenshot of how he was able to make like 90,000 in a single month, which is insane. And you tell people, hey, you can make this type of money on Facebook versus on YouTube, and they don't believe you because when it comes to making money with video, the first thing that people think is YouTube. That's the best place. But what I'm trying to say and show people is, yes, you can focus your time on YouTube. You can make videos for YouTube, but why not take those same videos and remonetize them on other platforms, especially on Facebook, because you can make a ton of money on Facebook. And Facebook is a headache. I've been dealing with Facebook for like over 10 years now. It is a headache, but the money is so good that you can't ignore it. Now that you have a little bit more experience with Facebook and growing your Facebook page and all that, what do you think is the main difference between like growing an audience on Facebook versus growing on YouTube?
That's a really great question. I would say that the difference is the way I was able to grow on TikTok almost, meaning that I was looking at my stats the other day, and in July of this year, I had 15,500 followers. I now have 69,000 followers. So that's a pretty quick growth. I could not grow that fast on YouTube, and TikTok's another story, but that's the one thing is the growth on Facebook has been phenomenal. And this was all organic as well too. On YouTube, I have to say this about YouTube. YouTube seems a little bit more of a stabler platform. They really don't shift and do things. And per view, you can make more money per view on YouTube. However, there are some things, it's easier to go viral on Facebook Facebook than it is on YouTube, I have to say.
And you can also do specific things on Facebook to help your videos to go viral that you can't do on YouTube. On YouTube, you upload a video. We upload this video right now. We don't know if it's gonna get 1,000 views or 10,000 views. And whatever views it gets, that's it. But on Facebook, we can potentially help a video get 100,000 views. And that's because of the way that Facebook is built, the platform. It's like a community-based platform where you can push your video a little bit, and then people who watch the video can share that to their friends, and it becomes very easy to get views. So even though you tend to get paid less for the amount of views you get on Facebook, you do get more views, which complements the amount of revenue or views you can get on a video on YouTube. So that's the main difference. That's the thing that people don't really quite understand. They're saying, hey, I'm gonna stick to just YouTube because I get paid more, not realizing that they can get more views and potentially make the same amount of money or sometimes even more on Facebook.
I find YouTube to be, I'm sure maybe this is not going to be the case for maybe some or many. I find it more difficult. You know, there's these videos that you watch that try to state that it's not too late to get into YouTube. It's not too late to, and that obviously they are addressing a concern that people think that it's very crowded in YouTube for that view. You know, I don't know what the truth is on that. All I can tell you is that it has been more difficult to do that as opposed to, and Instagram, their monetization is just so pathetic. It's just not even.
So what happens with Instagram is I do believe Instagram will change and get better because they're owned by the same company. So it just makes sense for them to eventually make monetization better for people on Instagram. But I think what happens with Facebook is that they really experiment a lot. And they haven't found like a specific formula like on YouTube where, like you said, they don't really change that much throughout the years. It's been the same program. They changed maybe, I think the last 3 or 4 years where they changed the requirements to get monetized on YouTube. But on Facebook, that's been constantly being changed and new programs and new things happening like every few months. Like right now, there's this new content monetization thing that basically it's a package of all the monetization tools. You know, it could be that they are beta testing this. It doesn't mean that it's gonna stay, but they're willing to experiment a little bit more. So you have to be on top of all the changes and everything that's happening. Hey, very quickly here, if you are an experienced YouTuber or content creator who still is not making money from Facebook, or perhaps you're trying to scale your revenue on Facebook and you still haven't figured out exactly what you need to be doing on Facebook to repurpose your videos from other sources like TikTok or YouTube and make more money, then I want to tell you about Facebook Creator Academy. This is a 3-month coaching program where basically I show you exactly what you need to do in order to take your content business to the next level. We'll show you how to repurpose your videos from YouTube or any other source to Facebook to make the most money that you can possibly make from Facebook. And if you're not monetized, we'll show you the path, the fastest path to get monetized on Facebook, get thousands of targeted followers who are going to be engaged and watching your content on a daily basis. Best of all, you get access to an amazing community of high-level content creators and YouTubers. You can learn from them, ask questions, gain feedback, and you can jump on our coaching calls where you can ask questions live and ask me questions and also learn from other content creators in the community. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you and you meet the qualifications as a content creator and you want to apply to Facebook Creator Academy, the link is going to be found in the description below. In less than 90 days, we'll show you exactly how to build a massive audience on Facebook, get hundreds of thousands of views from your videos, and how you can make the most money possible from your content on Facebook. Click the link in the description below for more information, and I hope to see you inside. But again, it brings us back to the question of, are you being able to repurpose your videos and are you monetizing the most the most money you can make from your videos? Are you able to do that if you're just posting on YouTube? In most cases, that's not the case. I spoke to someone yesterday that had, I think, 7.8 million subscribers on YouTube. And the first thing they said to me was, Lester, I didn't have a clue that I could upload my videos on Facebook and make money. I've been posting the links to my YouTube videos on my page, and he has like 2 million followers on Facebook already. When you check his Facebook page, it's been just the links to his YouTube videos. That's it. So he's been sending traffic from Facebook to YouTube, but he's not really making any money other than the views he's getting from the traffic. So it's one of those things, like I would say less than 10% of creators know about Facebook monetization. You're posting videos on YouTube, you might as well take those videos and find a way to repurpose and monetize those videos on Facebook. It just makes sense to me. But I am just going on a rant. So basically, what I want to ask you is, what advice would you give a content creator, a YouTuber, someone who is trying to, perhaps they don't have the same amount of followers as you, but they're trying to break into the content creation game? What advice would you give them to either, would you say, hey, start on YouTube first, maybe on TikTok, or maybe go into the Facebook game, see how that works out?
Well, I wouldn't say that going on TikTok is a really viable. I wouldn't do that. Knowing what I know now, and if I was to start from right this very point, I'm a huge believer in coaching and getting coaches. It's the only way to increase or decrease the amount of time to get to where you need to get to. You can watch all the videos, that's good, but one-on-one coaching trumps everything else, and any kind of, coaching that reflects anything of that sort. Let me just say this before I answer that question. As far as monetization, the best month I ever had on YouTube, because I had one long form video, only one ever go viral. And I got like 89,000 views in just a couple of weeks period of time. And I made $500 a month that month on YouTube. On Facebook, although it's not necessarily going this kind of trajectory, it's still like this. And I mean, I got a paycheck for $1,800. I got just one just the other day for $1,180. And this month will probably be somewhere around $800. I've never, over the last 4 years, have been able to make that kind of money in these last 3 months ever, anywhere. You can add it all up with TikTok and with YouTube put together, and throw Instagram in there. And I've never, ever. So what I would do is I would experiment with YouTube and I would experiment with Facebook. I think those two are the only viable ones, monetization wise, to even consider. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And if you had to pick one, I'd pick Facebook, only because of the different monetization tools that it has, and also the techniques that you have taught me that has helped me tremendously to get to that place where I'm utilizing Facebook in ways that nobody really even knows about.
Yeah, especially when it comes to growing an audience that, on YouTube, it kind of takes a lot of time because it's an organic audience. And it is, I'm not saying stop posting on YouTube. You could definitely, I would recommend doing both at the same time. But if you were starting from scratch and you really wanted to build an audience of 5, 10, 15,000 followers as quickly as possible, Facebook would be the fastest way to do that, and also get monetized. But when it comes to building a brand, of course, you should be on YouTube as well. It just makes sense to build an audience, monetize it with the monetization tools that they offer, but also offer some I would say product, service, something that would allow you to make more money.
And just an aside, as far as being able to use Facebook ads to sell products with what was an organic video that did well, and we used that because the product was being used in the video. Since October 2nd, so that was 22 days ago, I've made, I think, 90 sales. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but those 90 sales, the net return for me is somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 or more. So, that you add the numbers up, that's an additional income just in 22 days of, let me see, 9, 4, like 13, $1,400. I got 6 orders today, 8 orders yesterday. Consistently, I'm getting 6 to 7 orders a day.
And I believe that you can definitely scale that to get 30, 40, 50 per day. Last question before, because I don't want to take much of your time. Last question is, would you, your experience working with me, I know you've been working with me for quite a while now, and now you have access to the Facebook Creator Academy program, the community, and all this stuff. What's been your experience so far from the actual knowledge that you gain from the program that you've been able to implement in your business?
So I started off several months ago getting involved in the highest end coaching program for YouTube that money can buy. It was several $1,000s. And when I did it, but it was almost like a college course. Some of this was way above my pay grade. It was very complicated, very well thought out, and it's successful, but it just didn't fit me. And I just needed to find something else. That something else was Facebook and Lester. I did a one coaching package with you, and now you're ready to embark on this and have already on this new small group coaching with students that are qualified in regards to that they're more experienced than the person who's just starting out. You have helped me tremendously with the a little bit of one-on-one and the other coaching package you did with me. It was well worth every cent. And I'll tell you, I haven't told you this, but I took a peek, at what the after the 90-day coaching is to continue on. I looked at the price point and I giggled, and I told my wife and my assistant what it was, and I said, that's a no-brainer as far as the cost that is, to continue beyond, it's like, this is really good.
I think it's one of those things that there's gonna be new problems that will come along the way. So I didn't want to make something that would be extremely expensive, because I know content creators struggle. Honestly, I've talked to people, I don't want to mention any names, but I've talked to content creators with over 1 million followers on Instagram and millions of followers on Facebook, and they can't afford like a $1,500 payment, or they can't afford a $2,000 payment. So it's like you think they're making money, but they are not making money because, number one, they don't know how to monetize their content properly. They're not repurposing their content. They're relying on brand deals or sponsorships, and they might get 1-2 brand deals per month, and then the following month they might only get like maybe nothing or maybe one. So it's very unstable because they don't know this stuff. They don't know this information. And even with their audience, they don't have a product, service. They don't have pretty much any clue on how to monetize an audience. So most of content creators that I've talked to with big audiences are not making money, which is sad, to be honest, because it takes a lot of work to build an audience. So I do agree with you that investing in coaching, investing in programs to help you understand how to do that. I've invested a lot of money on coaching as well. I bought a YouTube course last year that really helped me understand SEO and how to really rank my videos on YouTube, and that was a massive help for me. It helped me. Probably that's how you found me, because one of my videos was ranking on YouTube for something. So it's an investment that is definitely worth, especially to cut down on, like you said, months and months of making mistakes. It's one of those things that if you invest time and money in yourself, it's always going to pay off.
You really, Lester, you have to have somebody that's in front of you in order to be able to be as successful as you possibly can. I was watching Mike Tyson as he's getting ready for his next fight, and the guy that was in his camp, he's like 80 some odd years old. He was a manager of Muhammad Ali, and he knew Mike when he was 13 years old, when Customata was training him. And he said to him, and this is not any new news, he said, you've got to surround yourself with other successful people. And, gold people who are striving for gold medal in the Olympics typically do not have a bronze or a silver medalist in their camp if they've been to the Olympics to help them.
And even the best people, the best athletes in the world have coaches. So why would Mike Tyson need a boxing coach when he's one of the best boxers in the world? It's just how it is. But anyways, man, I really appreciate your time doing this, answering a couple of questions. Any final thoughts or anything you want to share with the people?
No, I think this is an exciting time, and it's not too late to get involved in Facebook. Matter of fact, it's just the beginning, and I think you said that the powers to be are going to figure this out to try to compete better with YouTube, and they've got some pretty smart minds that are involved. And so, although we may see this fluctuate here or there, there's an involvement that's involved that are trying to get this platform as successful as it possibly can. I mean, they got 3 billion people that are visiting the platform. Why wouldn't they?
That's another misconception, that no one is using Facebook. When we get millions and millions of views on a monthly basis across a ton of different Facebook pages, so that tells you there's a lot of people on Facebook every single day. So thank you very much for doing this, man. I really appreciate it. Do you want to talk about your channel, if people want to find out more about you or anything you want to share?
Sure. The channel is called Lost World Museum, and we ask the provocative and important question: where do we come from? Apes, aliens, or Adam? I think that pretty much sums it up.
Thank you very much for doing this, man. I really appreciate it, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video with my client, John. And if you guys want to learn more about how to really take advantage of Facebook and why Facebook is going to be such a big opportunity for content creators in 2025, make sure you watch this video right here where I break it all down, give you all the details on why Facebook is making so many changes and how you can take advantage of those changes next year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.